We'll play it at the end.
Yeah, if I can find it. What up, YouTube?
What up, YouTube? I'm back. Unfortunate for you.
Yeah, they thought we were gone since we missed last week, I bet.
I bet. They probably thought we were all cracked out.
Today, I'm vaping Scrum. Scrum. By Dirty Little Secret.
Scrum. Is that like Schroeder? Scrum?
No, it's like scraped off cum. Scrum.
Oh, Scrum. I see.
Who knows? Who knew it tasted like strawberry milk?
Huh? Well, as long as you like it.
I'm not doing.
That's what counts. Scrappy Scrum. More Scrum for your delicious dinner.
So how's life treating you there, Kansas?
Well, been getting a little better. It's slow. Last week, I'm sorry I missed y'all. Really sick. I'm doing better now, but still, if you notice, got the red nose, still got the red forehead. But I'm
That's something. Now, I think you might have my picture clicked, or you might have clicked on my icon down there, so I think I'm the only one on camera right now. So please undo that so that I'm not always on camera.
Oh, come on.
By the way, QC Hemp 420 is out there. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, QC? Let's see if I got him under.
By the way, I was watching Mule. Well, I guess I wasn't watching it. I was listening to it. Mule has a blog talk radio thing going on Wednesdays now with John Solar. That was interesting. I only got through about 20 minutes of it, though, because then another friend called me and I had to pay him some attention. But for all those people that were, sad to see the dragon go or whatever, and Mule's not doing the dragon anymore, well, check out his podcast. John Solar has a trailer for it, I guess, on his channel. If you go to his channel, you'll probably be able to find a link.
Cool beans.
Every Wednesday. It reminded me a lot of a Google Hangout. No pictures, because nobody was ever on camera usually in the dragon anyway. So it's kind of the same fucking thing in my opinion. It's listening to these guys talk and bitch about shit, and there's a chat room down there and the whole bit, and they give shout outs. So I was like, well, this seems very familiar. But it's a radio show.
Cool. Huh. I might have to listen to one. I've been not on much. I'm not even watching TV much.
That's not a bad thing. Too much TV can rot your brain, bro. I'm a perfect.
Check out my butt.
I'm a perfect example of that.
Yeah, but I still miss, you guys and watching you and stuff, and when you're not on a lot.
Yeah, I'm really pretty busy right now trying to do videos for the vaping thing. I even have a couple videos that I'm going to be posting on my Poison Stinger channel, but I have kind of been putting it off because I want to find this paddle bit that I have somewhere in this house. Cannot find it. But I got some sauerkraut making videos that I'm going to be posting, and probably do a different video eventually too. Hey, Reb's in the chat room. Hey, what's up, Reb?
Hey, Reb, you're invited in. Come on in.
Yeah, he might not want to talk politics.
Come in here.
He'll probably come in after we're off the air. If he's not too busy building on all his new toys.
He's always out there playing.
Well, I got him hooked up, man. I educated him real fast on vaping, man. He went from 0 to 100 in like 2 days on vaping.
Well, that's cool.
He's got a lot of cool new shit.
Let's hear it for the great teacher.
Yeah, well, I know what I know, and I know what's bad, and so I try to direct him towards things I knew were good. I don't know everything on the market because there's so much on the market, and I don't have that much money, but I just directed him towards the things that worked well for me, and things that I heard were pretty good. So.
Welcome, Rebel.
Greetings and salutations.
Maybe a liar.
Let me get a refreshment, fellows.
So what's up? How you been? What you been up to?
Work. Getting ready for a big 4th of July sale. Yeah.
4th of July sale, huh? Make everything free for Kansas Hillbilly, right?
Yeah.
The way I do it is you pay 4 times more than you normally would. Yeah.
Oh, gee, thanks. I'm too poor to pay Paul.
And Mule Team's in the chat room, but I thought Clarence has already sent him a link. So.
Yeah,
He's under contract with Block Talk Radio. He can't come in here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no wonder him and John ain't answering. See how
He's got some little minuscule show called Liberty and Firearms Social Club on Wednesday nights.
Oh, that'll go real good with the G Plus page of the same name.
I'm leasing him the names.
Well, I already have the Ohm Ranger, so screw you guys. You can't have that.
Right? So how you doing, Kansas?
Oh, I'm getting better. I got to get my nose fixed up, and after that, I'm in pretty good shape.
All those decades of cocaine abuse, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Man, I wished I wouldn't be as big as I am. Jeez.
So what else is going on? Anything?
Not much. I've been trying to defrag the last few days, stay off of TV, so I don't even know what's going on, to tell you the truth.
That's good, man. Ignorance is bliss, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to... It's that old hippie saying, what's it, drop out, or tune out, drop out, something to do with acid. I don't know.
Or something like that. I don't know. I remember something like that, but I don't remember the way it went.
Right. Mule, no.
That's how you know you did it right. You don't remember how it went.
Right? Mule would know. He was a Grateful Dead groupie for a while.
Oh, speak of the devil, he shall arise.
What's up, Mule?
Welcome, welcome, Mule.
Why? Because I'm Mr. Fun? They want to keep up on me.
Mule's muted.
What's up, gents?
Ooh, listen to Mr. Silky Smooth.
So what's the saying, Mule?
0 fucks given.
Yeah,
I don't give 1 fuck. I don't give 2 fucks. I don't give red fucks. I don't give blue fucks.
You don't.
Wow,
Damn.
he's working on new material, I can tell.
That's a face for radio.
Thank you all for coming to my show today. I'm happy to have you all here, and I'm sorry I missed last week. I was sick as a dog. So.
Don't ever apologize. It makes you sound weak. No apologies necessary.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, take a page from our government, you know? I mean, fuck. The Attorney General can meet with the ex-president over a corruption probe, and of course they're only going to talk about golf, right? In a secret meeting that is exposed by just happenstance of a news crew being at that airport at that time. And, I mean, of course, that's not corruption. That's not, nothing to see here. Roll on. And then, of course, the AG is going to then lock up the, Clinton, the rest of Clinton's emails, especially from the Clinton Foundation, for the next 27 months. Or at least that's what they filed in federal court.
All right.
I guess they think that if she's president, then they can't arrest her or what? Because technically, being president doesn't mean you're exempt from being arrested.
Well, yeah, it does, because you can pardon yourself.
Yeah. And on top of that, if anybody thinks that law enforcement in this country is going to do any fucking thing about it, you're highly mistaken. Just as mistaken as Kansas, who keeps claiming we're free.
I didn't say we were free. I said we were free to do at least a little.
No, he's saying he wanted some free stuff. You got it twisted.
Yeah, okay, I'm free stuff. Okay.
Now that I believe. Well, then again, you're in the right country if you want free shit.
Right.
What a bunch of ball busters, man.
Come on, my boat, give me ball bust, and Jesus Christ.
You call this the ball busting Kansas show?
Well, hell, Kansas, you didn't call in last night, so I got to break your balls now. I gave everybody in the world the opportunity to come fuck with me.
I just educated you. You didn't know about it. I just found out about it yesterday myself, so. You'll be there next week, though, right, Kansas?
Yeah, if I can find the channel. I better write it down. Yeah.
Oh, I always put links up, baby. I put stuff to be able to follow.
Okay, so what?
He puts the breadcrumbs out.
Hell yeah. And unless as long as you're not rebel and you don't know how to follow them, and you're even more of a Luddite than I am, then you should be all right.
Yeah, it's just a cheap bastard. I didn't know that an 818 number was toll free. Otherwise, I would have chimed in.
See, I was trying not to throw your cheap ass under the bus.
Yeah, well, hey, it's all good, man. I got my cargo carrier put on this morning. It was a $140 unit. I got it for $80. Very happy.
Cargo carrier. Oh, for the rear bumper?
Yeah. A lot of folks like to put those fancy racks on top, which kills your gas mileage. So I opt expect. Plus, a couple dudes could hang off the back. You get my drift.
Well, you just open up the rear gate, right, and then they got a shooting platform.
Yep.
Nice.
But yeah, so you're gonna hate to hear that I paid less than that for a set of boxes for the back of the truck.
Yeah, well, toolboxes are great, but it's not the same.
So you got on Blog Talk Radio, huh?
Yeah. John finally talked me into doing the show. Seems like it turned out okay.
Send me the link on Facebook or Bookie or some way. Just send me a message.
Oh, I posted it up there. If you go over to the old Green Dragon page, it's now the Liberty Firearms page over on Facebook. There'll always be a link to it there.
Okay.
So, because I changed that over to Liberty Firearms and Social Club.
Firearm Social Club?
Damn right. I think it's a good banner to fly under. At least until November.
Yeah.
That's really a fun thing.
Well, if the elites get, if the powers that be in the world get their way, we will have a Clinton presidency. If the American people, like the British people, get their way, we'll have a Donald Trump presidency. Now, nobody knows what Donald Trump will do. Nobody. Everybody can speculate, but he's not a politician. He doesn't have a record. You don't know what he will do.
You have no idea what he's going to do.
But I think the American people, and like most of the people in the world these days, seem to be willing to take that chance. And I hope I'm right. And if not, that's okay too, because I'm looking at fucking 5,000 rounds of ammo right at this moment.
Nice.
So,
5,000 rounds.
well, yeah, between 9mm 22, 12 gauge, and 7.62 by 39. Yep.
You just got put on another list.
God, I give a fuck. You know what? Look, I'll tell you, I don't know if anybody realizes this yet, but California is on the brink. All those gun apocalypse bills, all the bills they've been coming up to just hit Jerry Brown's desk today. He has 48 hours to sign them. If he doesn't, they go down to the lieutenant governor's desk, and the lieutenant governor's guaranteed to sign them.
Who's the lieutenant governor over there?
Newsom, the old mayor of San Francisco.
Oh, hell no. Let me tell you something. I know a little bit about old Jerry Brown. He'll sign that shit in a heartbeat. And the other cat, oh, absolutely. Both of those cats will sign that without question. Won't even read it.
With Jerry Brown, you have Jerry Brown's vetoed a couple of gun legislation in his latest term. And Jerry Brown would be the one to veto the ammunition legislation that's up before there, where you'd have to have a background check and get put on a list for it. And he's already kind of said he would. But that's why they want to make sure it doesn't hit his desk until it has only a limited time period on there. So as long as they keep him out of the office, right, then it ends up in Newsom's hands. And in Newsom's hands, it's guaranteed that all the people we know in California that are still there, they're fucked even worse than they are now, right? So you're not going to be able to buy another round of ammo without paying an extra tax or having that ammo run through a background check and you having a day waiting period, minimum.
Wow.
So picture this. Imagine we all know how bad the NIC system is now. Imagine what it's going to be like when you have to go through a NIC check to buy ammo in California.
Well, not only that, but I think they're putting tax on it too.
Yeah,
and,
5 cents a round.
Yeah, plus the $20, $25 or $50, whatever the background check's going to cost. I mean, it's a lost cause, man. It's to me, it's Mexico. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going. Sorry.
Well, Hawaii's the same way, right?
Didn't you just go to California? Or
no, I didn't. And I won't. I may put my toe across the border up in Tahoe, but no one will know, and not for long.
Like a ninja, a bearded ninja.
Well, in the woods, it's like that's a different story, man. Nobody's up there,
right?
Yeah, so having a 30-round magazine in your PAP pistol is not going to scare anybody when nobody's around.
Yeah, if you commit a felony and nobody's around, does it count?
I don't know.
I love that. That's awesome.
No, but as long as there's no camera as well, it doesn't count. Shit, you can commit felonies right in front of people's faces and it still doesn't count. I mean, really, if you listen to the news today, they talk about this Loretta Lynch, Bill Clinton meeting as it's just, it doesn't look good. Well, no, that's fucking actually a crime, right? He's being investigated along with the Clinton Foundation, along with his fucking wife. So he's not supposed to meet with the head attorney of the fucking United States, but he did, and everybody's going, "Oh, all they talked about was grandkids and golf." Yeah, fuck you. So no, if you commit a felony, and as long as it's not on camera, and especially if you're one of the elites, it doesn't matter. They'll commit felonies all fucking day.
Hey, what's up, John?
How you doing? Everybody?
John, how's it going?
Sorry, I was at the grocery store. I was getting some funny looks. My pocket keeps going. Everyone's looking around. By the fourth time, I'm going popular. I don't know.
That's just Kansas, man. He don't send you one invite. You better come.
Get 600.
You're gonna get a lot.
It
Yeah.
was hilarious. I'm standing in the grocery store. It's packed in there. I mean, I was sitting there. I'm getting rent something, and I'm grabbing some beer, and I'm just sitting there wondering, why are all these freaking people? What are all these? It looks like they're all stocking up. Then I realize, oh yeah, 4th of July weekend. That's right. That's right. So that shows you how old
Yeah,
I
they're
am.
all going
I
to
forgot
celebrate
the
your
4th of July.
Well, they're all going to go celebrate their slavery, you know, because, again, you know, yeah, I talk to people, I'm like, do you know what the 4th of July is about? Oh, yeah, this is when we party and have a nice weekend and blow off fireworks. And it's like, oh, but do you really know what it's about? Well, you know, kind of. Well, what is it? I don't know.
2 years ago, me and my wife, we were the only ones, but we decided to go and protest the 4th of July celebration here in Mesa. And we had signs and everything, because in order to get into the celebration, you had to go through a metal detector or get a pat down or whatever, just in case you were bringing in a weapon. And I'm like, that's some bullshit. I'm protesting that bullshit, because that's not freedom. I'm supposed to be here for, you know, celebrating my freedoms, but I got to go through a fucking pat down in order to get in there? Screw this shit.
All an illusion.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, I get so tired of people talking about, oh, well, we're free and we're great, and it's like, no, where are we free? Well, you know, look, we're going to be here Monday celebrating a war we started over 3% tax. And right now, as it stands in the United States of America, the lowest paid wage earner in America is taxed 41% of their fucking income.
It's insanity.
Well, it's time to take back over then. Get your
No,
guns.
but they're not gonna. They're not gonna, dude. They're not gonna. What's gonna happen is Hillary's gonna win. Rebel's gonna be right. I'm gonna owe him $20, and you know,
We're gonna install our guns.
when they demand the guns back, 90% of the fucking people are gonna give them.
And then these fools right here that are in this video that I'm posting up over here on the right is they're gonna take over.
Well, just say Inshallah, right?
Everybody be ready to say Allah. Allah.
I think we need a sequel to that one movie, Team America, or what is it? Never mind.
We need a video. Kansas and Friends Strike Back.
Well, I think the only way Hillary's going to win is it's going to have to be rigged. Can they rig it? Hell yeah, they can rig it. I mean, look at right now. Comments outweigh everything. So you know, the president can stand up and go, "Well, most Americans are in favor of this." He hasn't even had the chance to talk to most Americans, but you know, he just says most Americans, and then you get a whole bunch of people around going, "Well, all the Americans want it." You know,
Most Americans, the whole 10, all that ever listened to him.
And then when you hear a poll, they'll go, "Well, there was a poll that says that you suck ass." They'll go, "Well, they 1,000 people? That's nothing." Well, he didn't even talk to 1,000 people with his freaking crazy ideas. He just does them.
Yeah, but see,
Loretta, I need you to back me up on this one.
Well, but that's because they're, you know, look, just look at the response to Trump. Okay, not even if you, I don't give a fuck if you like Trump, hate him, whatever. Just look at the response to the Trump candidacy. Okay, the elites, not Democrat, not Republican, not liberal, not conservative. The fucking elites have been losing their mind. They understand that it's all a game. There is no left-right. It's the powerful versus the peasants, you know? And so they're all in collusion. You know, that's why, you know, you can hear a speech from Trump bagging on trade, and it doesn't get reported at all, right? But if he says Muslim or Mexican in that speech, there you go for the next day. Oh, he talked about a Mexican plane overhead might bomb him. That's it. That's what they're going to talk about. Not the gist or the meat of his speech, just one offhand comment he makes. And that's all they ever do anymore, because the elites know they're losing control, and that makes them afraid. And you see it in this constant barrage. You've never seen it like this. Even with Reagan, you never seen the barrage from the media so far against a candidate who's talking about shaking up the process.
Well, that's why everybody has to just keep talking. Make sure they keep talking. I mean, too many people nowadays. I mean, I see this all the time. It's insanity. They have the mentality of, well, there's nothing I can do about it. That's them. There is a simple thing you can do about it. If nothing else can be done, talk about it.
Exercise the First Amendment. Yep.
Right. Keep talking. I mean, open the window. Yell outside. I'm not putting up with this shit. Do whatever it is you gotta do. Yeah, just do whatever you got to do, but you can't stop it. And the mentality of, well, it's not. I can't take down them. I'm not going to be able to go against them. Well, if one person talks and somebody else talks, that's two people talking. What happens when you get 1,000 people talking? That's what this is. What we're doing right now. There's 5 talking now.
Of the ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, every one of them bastards talk bad about Trump.
Yep, it's like because they're owned.
It's like the worst I've ever seen in history of just trying to junk a guy out, saying how bad he is. Then turn around, you go to like Fox. It's like, oh God, they praise God, Trump the God, and then it's crazy.
But they don't. See, even Fox News talks out of both sides of its fucking neck. You know.
Yeah, it's like
one minute they're talking about how Trump's great, and then 5 minutes later, one of their stars comes on and starts bagging on him the same way everybody else does.
Yeah. Well, look what happened to Hannity if I got fired.
Well, I'm just telling you, man. With everybody, look, if everybody's against somebody, especially the elites, if they're scared of them, I'm voting for that fucker. Yeah. And I think the people, I think a lot of people in the world who are paying attention are feeling the same thing. You know, you see it with the Brit exit, right? So the cities of Britain were like, "Fuck no, we want to stick around." But the people the people who think for themselves went, "No, we need to get out and reestablish our own sovereignty as a nation."
I think when it comes down to November, I think everybody might shit their pants. But I have a feeling it's going to be a landslide for Trump. And the reason I think is people are not dumb. It's just like in the voting they've had. Everybody voted for Trump whenever they thought, oh, it's all going to be bad. Well, hell, look at Florida. $56 million spent to try a bad publicity for Trump. What happened? Trump landslide. Boom, killed him. Right there. Boom. And I'm telling you, Trump wasn't off. If he'd had another day probably or two in Ohio, he'd probably have won Ohio too. And I'm with him on that one because people would have done it. And it was everywhere Trump went.
I agree. And I think the polling's all full of shit because people aren't answering pollsters like they used to. CBS just did a poll. They talked about how firearm ownership here in the United States is down to 40%, right? And that's bullshit. If you read the article, they called 1,000 people and most of them hung up on them, right? And just didn't answer the question. So let me ask you guys a question. If some stranger calls you on the phone and asks you, do you have a gun in your house? How would you answer, whether you have one or not?
I say, hell yeah.
Business.
Well, most people, okay, we'd probably say none of your business. Kansas say hell yeah. But I'll tell you what, I'd say no. No, I don't own any guns. Why the fuck would I tell you? Why the fuck am I going to? How do I know you're really a pollster from CNBC? How do I know you're not some dude down the street scoping out my house waiting for me to leave because you just found out I have a fucking safe full of guns?
I tell them I got a hand grenade.
So I'm just saying that I don't think most people are answering the those kind of questions truthfully, any more than they're answering the poll questions of are you going to vote for Trump or Hillary. They're just going, Hillary, just to shut you the fuck up, right? Just in case you're on a list.
I think people aren't saying anything. They're just going to wait till. I believe a lot of people are just being quiet because it's gotten quiet. People aren't out saying much, and then you got the ones out there being mouthy, but it's just a small majority. But the thing is, or minority, but it's like they're just out there, a few of them out there going at it, but most of the people aren't saying a damn thing. And I believe when it comes down to the voting, when it counts, they're all going to stand.
Well, I know I talked to earlier today my neighbor who's a black 50-year-old woman with, way too many kids. But her and I had a hour-and-a-half long discussion about, Hillary and Trump, and she walked away saying she's more than likely going to vote for Trump after she does some checking on my facts and figures. So
I got something on the screen right here. This is Gannett. I don't know how many. I assume you guys are familiar with Gannett. Gannett is on a buying spree. This is just some of what they own right here, and you can start to see some of these different papers that are in the different areas. All right down to the El Paso Times, Democratic and Chronicle, USA Today. But now this is what they're buying up across the nation. These are all controlled by Gannett, which all of these newspapers, all of these things report what they're told to report. This is why the main media is just so messed up right now, because it's owned by some massive liberals.
Well,
they own a lot. They just bought one here in Maine too, our Portland Press Herald.
Well, John, I know you're a wonk too. If you go looking up, it used to be 6 companies owned all the media in the United States. It's down to 4.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, and you've got, what's his name there? William Randolph. I mean, he started his company by literally stealing someone else's idea, but William Randolph Hearst was huge in this stuff, and now, Hearst is he's massive now. People don't even hear the name anymore, Hearst.
Well, because, unless you hear Patty, right?
Right. Yeah. You don't even hear the name, William Randolph Hearst, the frickin' 4th or whatever it is, but that family they are, like, ruling a lot of all the news going on.
They don't even, if you think about it, really think about it, they don't even anymore, the First Amendment was supposed to be for journalists that really wanted to print the truth, not bullshit. Anymore it's entertainment. It's an entertainment factor. They all know it's bullshit. People they're only doing what they're told. Well, everybody knows it.
One of the beauties is what you just said, and it is happening. This is one of the good things. It is happening. And you're hearing it all over the place. Actually, kids are saying it, that the news is all bullshit. And that's good. That is good to hear those words come out of their mouths. The news is all bullshit. The sad part is they can't answer any other questions. It seems to be the group that's in college right now, not all of them, so don't start screaming hate, but so many. I forget who the guy is that goes around to campuses and does questionnaires.
Waters.
Yeah.
Milo, I can't even pronounce his fucking last name.
It's insanity when they hold up a picture of somebody and go, do you know who that is? And you go, no. And it's like they've been on the cover of every newspaper and on the news and everything and every freaking internet story. Come on, you got to know who that is. Nope. They can't identify that. But they can identify Hillary Clinton. I saw a really great one the other day by this guy, and he gave them it's like a big giant popsicle stick with a picture of Hillary Clinton's head on one and Trump's head on the other, and he listed down. The first one was about verbally bashing a rape victim, a little kid though. This was like a little kid rape victim, publicly bashing them, and every single person went Trump. It was actually Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
And every single one of the facts that went through, when he was all done, he goes, "Would you actually understand that everything here is Hillary Clinton?" And he was happy to let them look him up. And when they were looking him up, they were all Hillary Clinton, and they were like, "I didn't know any of that. I had no idea about any of that." How? How do you not know anything about that? Because those stories are buried. Those are stories we don't want to talk about.
1974. And it's when that little girl, 12 years old, she bashed the frick out of her.
Oh yeah, and it's unbelievable, the horrors that this lady's been involved in. I mean, I was just reading an article it was this morning, where someone had posted her response to what was your greatest achievement, and they just they've typed out what she said. I went and listened to it to make sure it was what she said, and it was so fantastic. They asked her what her greatest achievement was, and she said, "I'm so glad you asked me about that. My greatest achievement was an amazing thing that we all got together on, and we worked so hard on it, and there were a lot of people and a lot of negativity that came a part of it, but we pushed through that negativity, and we were able to see the final outcome at the end, and I'll tell you what, that's probably my greatest achievement." And I'm just sitting there going, she didn't say a damn thing.
Nope.
She didn't. She didn't say
I know
anything.
that speech, and the sheep clapped like she had just laid down the Sermon on the Mount.
I know. And it's like, well, here, let's talk about the social and geometric possibilities surrounding Goldilocks and the Three Bears. What do you think, kids? Huh? And everyone went nuts. I was like, what the hell? She didn't say anything. It's... and that's somebody who's well versed in the political arena. That's one thing I do enjoy about Trump a lot is he's just not well versed in the political arena. He will have to become, obviously he will, but right now he's just not well versed in the political arena, and I like that. I actually like that, because when someone's like, well, blah 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 blah, he'll go, I'll just throw him out. Great answer. Great answer. I don't want to hear the speeches that sound like they're coming out of one of the Miss America pageant contestants. Well, I think that we need to. Yes, that's what I think. That kind of crap. You're like, what the hell are they saying? But no, it's. The speech I'm talking about, Mule. I'm probably not quoting it all right, but it was just such a perfect moment for me going, that is politics. There you go. That is, to me, is the definition of politics. It's just a bunch of shit thrown at the wall and see what sticks. Oh, they're clapping? Awesome. They're clapping. That's great.
It's to me, I look at it like clear Jello mix, right? There's a lot of something there, but there's no substance.
That's awesome. I like that.
There's not even flavor to it. You know what I mean?
I like that. I'm gonna steal that.
So when you listen to these fucking politicians speak anymore, it really is just they try and speak in a circle, so everybody's standing there confused, and they're like, "Is this the moment you're supposed to clap?"
They're also hypocritic. That's the thing that gets me. It's like they'll speak out their ass on one thing, and then turn around and speak just the opposite the next thing.
Yeah, we need to arm the rebels in this country, but every gun on the street of America needs to be gone.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. The State Department and the White House.
I think everybody's 45.
They've been able to prove that there were weapons from Fast and the Furious in the Paris attack, right? So they've been able to trace these weapons back. They went down to Mexico. From Mexico, they got into the cartels. Then they went to a Middle Eastern country, one of the jihadists, right? So then it ended up in the Middle East, and then it ended up getting transferred, not transferred, but smuggled into Paris, right? And of course, what does the State Department and the White House say? Oh, we're going to have to investigate that.
Oh, yeah.
It's an ongoing investigation, so we can't talk about it.
That's the key right there. That is the key right there. Whatever it is, I mean, Obama has his freaking his schedule thing is now classified. I remember reading about that. I mean, we used to always hear, well, the president will be taking care of this today. No, everything now. Everything is classified. And you just throw out the word investigate, or we're going to look into that. Well, looking into it's some sort of investigation, so all we can't discuss. That's all you got to say now. That's it. That's all you have to say. And if you have the biggest issue, I know there's probably people out there that are listening that are wondering, well, how come that never happened before? It's because the president owns the Justice Department now. This president has owned the Justice Department for his entire term. He has the right person, and now some people will say, yeah, well, what about freaking Kennedy? Yeah, Kennedy didn't own the Justice Department. Yes, his brother was in the Justice Department, and he was heading it up, but his brother went after everything that was wrong. He wasn't being held back, and there wasn't secret meetings, and he didn't not investigate certain things, and he didn't not look into things because he was told not to, or he didn't fly down and start, declaring that we're going to hang these cops from a rope before we even have an investigation, like it was in Baltimore, Maryland, which was a travesty of justice. Now, I don't know if they're guilty or not. I don't know. But that process should have been done according to the way it's supposed to be done. Having a DA show up and go, I'm going to get you, you're just... Okay, that's just like... Really? That's insanity. I mean, that's predetermined. You're guilty. Why?
Well,
because you really need to be, so I can make these people happy. So...
And like you said, that this government's owned lock, stock, and barrel. It's came in on a voice of we're going to be the most transparent government in ever existence in the United States, and it turns out it's been the most obfuscated, whatever the fuck that word is, government in the United States. Right? There is zero transparency. I mean, seriously, when your attorney general meets with somebody under investigation for a private meeting in a private airplane that was quickly arranged, and then you're going to go, oh, it really wasn't nothing. Fuck you. That is the appearance of corruption. She needs to be recused from the fucking investigation. Are they going to do it? No. But would this media out here today, if they would have seen the same thing happen with let's say Bush? Right? I'm not a fucking Bush fan. Anybody who knows me knows I hated that fucking scumbag. But if the same thing would have happened, the media would be calling for the heads of the AG for the next 6 months.
And you just touched on something so briefly as you flew by, and I just have to say something. There's so many people out there have the Republican and Democrat mentality. Don't be fooled by the Republican and the Democratic mentality. Use your brain, people, and look into this stuff, because if you're not aware, look it up yourself. Check on the facts. Go deep, though. Don't. USA Today is not the place to check your facts. Go deep, deep, deep. Start looking. Who is this person? What have they been involved with? What have they been doing? Because I'll tell you right now, Republicans, all right, Republicans are corrupt as fuck. Okay? Democrats are corrupt as fuck. The reason why is they're in the government, okay? And they start to become corrupt the minute they arrive. Now, in defense of some of them that go in there with the innocence and the wide-eyed, bushy-tailed thought mentality of, I'm going to make a difference, I'm going to make a change, they get there, and one of the things I was privy and very happy to learn a little bit about this from some of our people here in Maine, who I've worked in the past at Men's Warehouse, so I got a chance to know a lot of senators and people, and I learned a few things from these guys where they're like, you get in there and you're changing the world, and then somebody pulls your emergency brake and goes, let me explain to you the way this works. You're going to have my vote for that, okay? Now, in order to get my vote, I'm going to be needing you to be a part of this bill. And if you don't want to be a part of that bill, well, then everybody who's a part of that bill isn't going to be a part of your bill. So you wind up now starting to trade off things, and the mentality sets in of, well, if I take that stance. It's for the greater good because I'm going to achieve this goal. And once you do it once or twice, now you're trading people's rights back and forth for what you perceive is going to be the greater goal. And then once you step through that door, it is very, very easy because in order to step through the door, you must be purchased.
It's called accountability, and it almost sounds like you're making excuses for people that have good moral fortitude to get in there and go, well, I guess this is the game and this is the way it's played. But you know what? There's people like Ron Paul and others that have stellar records, and they're not going to capitulate just because their party tells them to.
No, and I note that. I do note that. And I'm not trying to make an excuse as much as I'm trying to simply explain where some of this shit goes wrong. Is it right? No. It's in the very beginning. If you remember, I said they're fucking corrupt. But I wanted some people to understand that this is kind of the road they go down. Now you must, and you're, Rebel, you're 100% right. Accountability is everything, because no matter what anybody says, you can only go through the door willingly. There's no other way through the door but willingly. It's just that they get there, and then they take the path of least resistance, and then they make it okay with themselves, because I'm doing the greater good. I'm doing the greater good. And then they're gone. They're worthless from that point.
If anybody needs to know the inside baseball, watch House of Cards or any of these other friggin' dramas about government. It's pretty much spot on.
Oh yeah,
it's gangsterism at its best. And anybody who tries to say naively, "Oh, I didn't know," listen, man, you're power hungry, maniac, and that's the bottom line.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And my only point was to show the people, this is they. I always wonder. They go there and they can be in front of your door and they can have that sincerity in their eyes, and then they get there and it always seems like they're lost. What happened to them? What happened? We sent one from Maine and it was like, oh my God, he was gone in a matter of days. He was for sale. And you just go, what the fuck happens? What happens when you get there? And I'm just
explaining. NSA file comes out and they go, hey, you did this, that, and the other thing. Remember that 10-year-old boy your little Maine ass porked on that nobody knows about? We know about it.
Well, yeah. So that's what one of the senators said to me. I'm just repeating what he told me was, you know what happens? He goes, this is what happens. You get there, and you stand up, and you're going to go for it, and then all of a sudden you realize by going for it, you're getting nothing. So you begin to trade, he said. You begin to trade, you begin to... And he was very honest. He said, is it right? No. But is it the way it happens? Yes. And I was just amazed that, I'm like, I just couldn't believe it, that even state level, they get in there and they just start trading stuff. That's what they're doing. They're in the back room trading, and all these little deals that go on. And those, I forget what they call that part of a bill, when they vote on, where they make these little backdoor trades. I don't remember the name. I don't want to try to say it. It's like an add-on.
An amendment.
Well, you're voting on the budget, but they slide in a little thing that has nothing to do with the budget, and they have a name for it.
Amendums.
Is it an amendment?
Addendums.
Is it addendum? Okay. Well, those are one of the most dangerous things. He was telling me that can happen. He said,
because nobody votes on them. They're not in committee. Nobody knows about them. They sneak them in. The feds do that shit all the time.
That's how government works, though. Instead of having a bill on its face value, you get a bunch of gangsters together who have their regions, and they need a bridge here, and they need a kickback there, and they need this for their state, and this for their guy, and this for their lobbyists. So they pile on the pork when the bill is straight up and down, black and white. What is the deal? Here it is. It should be one page, but no, it's 15,000 pages. Nobody reads it, and like you said, they're trading votes for kickbacks, and that's the way it works.
Look at Obamacare. They voted on it. They didn't know shit was in it.
Well, yeah, but now she actually, Nancy Pelosi, probably one of the most amazing speeches I've ever heard in my life for stupidity. She actually had the gonads to walk out and go, no, you cannot know what's in it. Vote for it first. Then you can know what's in it. And they did. I was like, I mean, can you imagine the simplicity of even buying a car? You're just going to buy a car. And they go, can I test drive it? Nope.
Hey, your ass is gone.
No test driving the car. Just give me the money. Nobody in their right mind would do that. But now they're messing with millions and millions and millions of people's lives and their livelihoods, and they're messing with huge sums of money for taxes. And they're like, hey, you can read it after you vote for it. And they do. And it's like, I couldn't even fathom how the fuck she could stand up and actually utter the words. That was probably the most unbelievable, amazing thing I've ever seen anybody do in politics. I couldn't even believe it.
Well, John, I mean, you got to remember, they don't think of us as equals. We are not. This "we the people" bullshit is just that to the elite, right? You're a peasant. You don't need to read what they're going to put out. It doesn't need to be open to the public. You just follow.
They are.
I'm beginning to wonder if they don't have "we the people" toilet bowl cakes.
Well, you had 78% of the population. Of the people of the United States saying absolutely no banker bailout, and what they do, they said, "Well, we had to do it." And what happened? What happened? A lot of people got paid. The guy who came up with the whole thing, he walked away with billions of dollars, but no investigation. Hank Paulson, no problem. Yeah, it's gangsterism, and we're too. We're too apathetic to do anything about it.
May 30th, 2012, May 30th, they've been able to pretty much get propaganda to any American they want. Just because the old bill ran out that said no, do not ever use propaganda on Americans. That bill ran out in 2012, and
I don't think they care. I don't think they care anymore about any bills anymore. I mean, when a president can turn around and go, "Oh Jesus, all the employers are upset. All right, rewrite the law. We'll do it like this, and we'll hold back the employer mandate," and just declare it that way. You know they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
like you both said. Well, sorry, go ahead, Sting.
I was just saying, just like John was saying, every time you change something to the law, you're supposed to go through the Congress and all that to get it changed. And here Obama was changing things left and right without going through that process.
But they all do it, man. They all do it.
It's called the mighty skillcraft.
It's just a blank check, Yep. It's a blank check. They say, sign off on it. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Trust us. We're your government. Well, look where it's gotten us.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's funny, those used to be the scariest words in America, right? I mean, even Ronald Reagan said that. What's the scariest words in America? I'm from the government. I'm here from the government to help you, or trust me. I'm here from the government to help you. Those are the scariest fucking words in America. Not anymore. Right now, that's all people want to hear.
Yeah, well, that's because of the 9/11.
Making me check my magazine.
I actually think that most people don't want to hear it. That's why I think Trump will win. But if you just believe what you see in the media, it's of course the exact opposite. But I think most people are fed up with all of this. They're fed up with being told what to think, what to do, who to think, who to vote for, all this shit. And the more they keep pressing against Trump, I think is the more just the sheer orneriness of America will make people vote for him.
Well, I pray you win the $20.
Me too.
Because I'll be shedding tears if you hand Rebel $20, and it'll have nothing to do with the $20.
Yeah, but I know he'll spend it on ammo, and so would I. So
well, it's a win-win, really.
Yeah, no matter who's in fucking office, I'm continuing to stock up on ammo, right? I don't trust these fucking people. I don't trust the situation in the world. My state they're getting ready to stop. My state's so fucking broke that schools might not be able to open this year, and they're getting ready to shut down road construction and the 911 networks.
And there's a very good, valid point. as you're mentioning those particular things, all right, they shut down the 911 networks. Now stop and think about that. They shut down the 911 networks. So now you have an overflow of the dumb shit. Now I'll admit there's a lot of dumb shit that goes through 911. But now it's going into the main switchboard of the police department. All right, so you have a dispatcher now who's going to be handling all of 911 in standardized calls in the case of an actual emergency. What's going to happen? So if you're not armed, Jesus, what are you going to have? 18, 20 minutes? I mean, good Lord. Who would ever want to be in a situation where the bad shit's happening, I made the call, it could be a half hour, could be 45. We're on our way.
It's the purge.
Well, I know. Okay, I'm going to tell you something from my childhood. If this would have happened then, I know what I would do with the people on the wrong side of the law. We'd be the one flooding the fucking 911 calls. That way we can get the cops somewhere we don't want them to be, and then we go to where we want to be and, do the things that we want. Just the other week we had a storm here so bad there was a tornado went through, and it knocked out the power of town over. Well, while that power was knocked out of town over, and I wish I'd have thought of it, but a bunch of guys got together, stole a Jeep, smashed it into a gun store, and fucking robbed it blind. Every weapon in that gun store is now up in Chicago or in Gary, Indiana.
Oh, yeah. You know it.
And they did it during a blackout because there was 2 hours worth of power loss in the town of Streator, and that's what happened. What do you think's going to happen when there's no 911? What do you think's going to happen? Yeah, it just makes me laugh when people think we're doing good.
It's just stupidity. That's all it is. It's just stupidity.
Well, I understand how the barbarians were able to beat Rome. When everybody's in the bath, they're watching the gladiators fight. Meanwhile, the barbarians are at the gates, and everybody's like, they're not going to get in. Pass the bong and give me a beer.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what? Then the barbarians stop being at the gates, and now they're your new masters.
Hell, they'll be the ones selling you the beer.
Oh, shit, they already are when you...
Yeah, I know.
I'm not even going to get into the jihadis owning most of the fucking liquor stores in America anymore.
Yippers, it's definitely interesting.
Well, they can't drink it, but they have no problem with selling it to you. So, because you're an infidel.
Yep, absolutely. Horrifying infidel. Proud of it.
Yep.
There you go, Stinger. Yeah, it's definitely it's the wild, wild west out here right now. It's just nuts.
And they really think they're going to get people's guns.
It's the best of times, worst of times. We're going to find out if there's any, fight left in the American people. We're going to find out.
Oh, there is, but I've said this before, and some people call me nuts, but it's a trigger point's what it is. It's nothing more than a trigger point. Everybody has a trigger point. I don't care if you're sitting, if you're 300 pounds overweight, sitting in a chair with a fan on your face, you have a trigger point. There is a trigger point, and you're coming out of that chair. And as soon as they reach this trigger point, and this trigger point is many different things for many different people, but some of them cross over and encompass the same beliefs. But when they start to go this, then you're going to start to see. I swear, the reason why we don't have it out in the streets right now is, I think that the conservative people behave differently, and they want to go out there and do this stuff, but they see, they see negativity as a result of it. They see the neighbors, and this is just me talking, by the way. They see their neighbors, hate that, this, that, whatever the reason is, they stay back. They stay back and they're quiet. But they do have a trigger point. They do have a trigger point. And I mean, envision you're in the grocery store, all right, and you're just cruising along in the grocery store shopping, and all of a sudden, Rev, you're a dad, I'm a dad, Kansas, you're a dad. Someone comes by, and as they're going, they say, "Excuse me," and your kid doesn't move, and they go, "I said, excuse me." They put their hand, open hand, on your child's chest and push the child out of the way. Well, welcome to trigger point.
Well, welcome to a trip to the hospital, if not the morgue.
Right, but trigger point. So that's a good example of what I mean. Trigger point. That is a trigger point. You no longer can possess the ability to go, I need to say something to this individual sternly and firmly and make sure they do it, but I can't go aggressively against them because I might go too far and law enforcement will show up. I could result in losing my job and being in jail. You don't even give a rat's ass about that. None of that even comes into play. It's trigger point time. And that's that thing that, they're going to keep pushing. They're going to keep pushing, and people are going to start getting up out of their chairs because it's going to start reaching their trigger point. When they start being told, well, this is the way it's going to be. Well, no, I'm not in. You guys do what you want to do, but I'm not. No, don't misunderstand me. This is the way it's going to be. You're going to start having dads get up, grandpas get up and go, fuck you. This isn't happening. And then people are going to start to go, wow, fuck, we let this go too far. Yeah, you did let it go too far. You let it go way too far. But everybody has a trigger point, and I kind of think they're going to have to always remember that, and they're going to have to realize that you're going to push a little too far, and this country will stand up.
Yeah, I don't think they do realize that there's a trigger point. They keep pressing all those trigger points to get a reaction. I think they want a reaction.
Well,
right?
They won't like the conservative reaction, because the conservative reaction isn't people going, stop it, knock it off. They're just.
I got a story for that one there.
Go right ahead.
I was well, this is a long time ago. This is we were living in Oklahoma. I'd say about 10 years ago, was it? We were in Oklahoma City, and this guy came over, and there's like in between us there was a big old shelf, and he couldn't see me. When my daughter comes, brings the trash out, goes to the trash can, he doesn't know I'm standing on the other side of this. And she was about 8 years old, and so she comes walking out there, puts the trash in her, opens the trash can, and this guy walks up and says, "Hey, little girl, you want to know what sex is? You want to find out what sex is?" And you never talk about a guy that I've never jumped over shit so fast in all my life.
It's a trigger point.
And this man runs in the house next door because he's staying with the hose in the other house. I chased him through their house, back out and around, and he finally ran and jumped in the car and took off. Never to show back up again. They didn't call the cops because they knew he was wrong. And so I was going to kill him if I could have caught him.
Right, and that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. That's that trigger point. That's when people just go, you know what? You're going to grandma's. Going to grandma's. That's where you're going, because I got something to handle. Mule, you know this one, and you know it well.
I tell you what, guys, we only have 3 viewers. I was thinking about turning it off. We'll stop between us.
All right, yeah. Works for me.
Guys, thanks for coming.
Yeah, that's fine.
Next week's the same exact thing. We'll be here at 6 p.m. Come see us and have a good day.
I'll try not to be in the grocery store.
Anybody want to say anything or any plugs they need to get out there? I know Mule has a new.
Actually, it's John and I that have it. So come visit us over at Liberty Firearms and Social Club on Blog Talk Radio. It's also on G Plus and Facebook, and there's a YouTube channel. So keep an
And it's
eye.
on iTunes and Spotify.
Yep.
Alrighty. And so with that, we will see you all later. Thank you for coming.